Going live. Hello everyone. How is it going?
Hello. Hello.
Forgot to do a thing, but I'm going to do it live. You guys are not gonna see it, don't worry.
Hello, friends. How are you?
Welcome everyone to the first Fungus Podcast. I hope you all are staying hydrated.
Yeah, do stay hydrated. I'm staying alive.
Yeah. Like
barely.
Like the good old song goes, I'm staying alive. You're going to grab some food? Get some food, Kill. Of course you're reading something else. You're never in just one place.
I'm reading something else and I'm gonna have to tell you about it later.
Okay.
Or send you a screen cap or something.
We'll figure it out. I'm a bit loud. Okay. I can unloud myself. The levels on my mixer are different now because I got a new one. I got a new USB interface. This one actually has 48 volt phantom power, so it actually works for this mic, not like the other one I had. But yeah. We are going to do I plan to pause this?
I forgot to do a thing.
Yes, Marnie, we are planning to upload this at least to YouTube, and I'm going to figure out how to get it onto podcast services. If I can get it on Spotify, cool. But I'm gonna try to find the easiest and cheapest way to do it. Because this is supposed to be a podcast, and there's going to be like some interesting topics being talked about and whatnot. Yes, Nadine?
Yeah. Khaz. Nadine is saying Khaz.
That mug? Which mug? My mug? This mug? This flower mug?
Are you talking about the mug that they drew? I think
the one on the overlay? Oh.
Yeah, you have to be specific, Nadine. There's a lot of mugs going on today.
That mug is David special. That mug was drawn by Dibik.
I think you need to. Oh yeah, that's one of David's things.
Yeah, it's a David.
I need to move that so that I'm not looking to.
I maybe we can figure something out. Could be an idea. We'll ruminate on it. Food check, everyone. I had my food actually. I had lunch just before the stream. I woke up at family lunch hours instead of Khaz alone lunch hours, which is not very common. I usually end up having lunch alone, but I don't mind because I prefer that. Let's figure out the emerge. Yeah, there's a lot that we have to figure out. I think I lost the lap, but that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know this lab was kind of very still. Maybe we should stick to audio. We can keep it audio only so it's easier on your internet. We all left with a false lab. All lab just has no internet, okay. I told you guys, I told you something was gonna fuck up. Well, while lab is not here, let's move to this. Just like all the false skills on the Minecraft server, yeah. Oh, ew, this shows my face. I don't want this. I guess. Yeah. Yeah, you do need to be on call. Even for audio. So I guess I have to just, vamp for time. For the time being. Because I can't do the whole podcast by myself. Good question. If you go to the nether and put some kind of gold on part of the armor to put on. Obviously shoes. Guessing's part of the podcast. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't think that would be the best way to progress forward. But yeah, shoes is usually the way to go for me because it's the least detrimental to the armor that I'm wearing. So it makes it a lot easier. Because golden armor fucking sucks. Second girl's idea. No. I'm not gonna sing until you come back. That'd be terrible. I have nothing to sing anyways. If you're falling for gold boots in your under chest just in case. I have not been acquainted with feather falling. Gold helmets with shoes. Just do what's best for you. In the process of making a suit of leather armor with optimal enchantments. I haven't gone to Minecraft in so long. Yeah, saved your life just so many times. I don't fall very often. Usually don't want to fall. Mushroom is green for me today, and I like that aesthetic. Although it is orange on OBS, because I have my dashboard on. I have the friend Fungus dashboard on, but I also have OBS on this side, so I can. I fell into a ravine 3 fucking times yesterday. Nadine, let me pitch you this concept. It's called looking ahead. It's a very new concept. Not a lot of people have a handle on it yet. But you can look forward, and then you avoid about 90% of the dangers that you can encounter. Sounds fake. I'm usually the one people are falling for. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more of a falling quarters kind of guy. Good ass boots. Do you agree with Lab? Everyone always agrees with Lab. Even me. I just realized I have the purple badge now. It's 3 months. It's been 3 months. Shit. 3 months since we made it to affiliate. It's been a journey. We will talk about that journey with Lab, if her internet will work. Oh. Clyde decided that I shouldn't be on that call anymore. Fucking Clyde. For those who don't know, Clyde is Discord's mascot. So when you're in a DM call, like not on a server, but in a personal chat with someone, after a certain amount of time, it puts you out. It's convenient, but also annoying. One of Goose's villagers has feather falling 4 books. Huh. Beautiful. Well, you can go raid Goose's village and become enriched with feather falling stuff. Oh.
Boop.
Boop.
I should turn off my phone audio now. I don't know what it was. I think the internet just dropped for like 5 minutes.
Well, hopefully we get it out early.
Yeah. So I turned off the guest streamer bot because I forgot to do that. And there's a timer for being able to ask questions now.
Oh, cool.
Anywho, we're here.
We are here.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just get on it?
Probably.
So, during this entire time we've been promoting the podcast, we've told people that they can ask us questions on the server. So yesterday was the cutoff point for that. And we got some questions from Sin, from Nadine, one from Rob, one from Nanners.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go in sort of a narrative order to make sure we keep like a flow of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And our first question, coming from Sin the Oracle, is how did we start arting? And how we got into art?
Yeah, and they specifically said because we art differently. They were curious. So do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I have a like a not a really close relationship with art. I did drawings back when I was a kid, but I was never really good at it. Drawing ideas as they came to mind was never something I could do. I could copy things very well. That was something I was very proud of. But after middle school, I basically never did art besides some tagging. If you've been to any street, you've probably seen someone tag the walls. And that was as close to art as I got for most of it. And then when I got into Twitch, I was like, I need emotes. I need badges, so I'm just gonna go for it. And that's my relationship with art now. I'm just this is something I need done. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I was doing stuff as a kid too. Just random doodles. But I also was starting off with crafting a lot more than like strictly art. Like I was one of those kids. I did the bubble letters and flame inserts and all that shit when I was a kid, and I would do things with people's names and stuff. But the crafting was my real transition, like my art. Like I was making my own jewelry as a kid with like kits and things that were like made for kids to make their own jewelry. I mean, we've all learned through my crafting streams that I've been crocheting since I was 7 years old. And that I picked up because my mom taught me. And she waited until I specifically asked her to say anything. But I mean, you know, that's something that she picked up from her aunt. You fucking piece of shit. But yeah, so the crafting has always been my thing. I'm just naturally gifted with my hands.
Lep knows how to use her hands.
Hey. But yeah, the crafting, the crocheting, obviously like the building of the furniture. I've grown up as a very handy individual. I was making tattoo designs for myself around 12. Just like coming up with the ideas then, and I didn't really start putting any of them to paper until I was about like 16 or so. And all of that was just finding random images I could get like a close approximation to what my idea was and tracing them. And know us on the quote, Nadine. But yeah, so I just naturally like picked up like tracing from like my computer screen. So I was literally like sitting with my laptop in my room some days with it tilted so that it was like a drawing easel with a sheet of like copy paper over it and just tracing over everything. Which is not great for your laptop screen, by the way.
Nope.
Thank you for the resub, Zen.
We love you.
Yeah, that I got pushed off of art when I was a kid, like art, like drawing specifically, because when I was 9, I told my family that I wanted to be an artist, and my dad, his response to that was, why don't you go for something that's a little bit more useful, like an architect. So that put me off of doing a lot of stuff for a really long time, and I would randomly do things every now and then, but I always felt like I had to hide it so that they didn't know I was doing it because they didn't approve, and we had to do family approved things, which is total bullshit. And then, you know, I got to later in high school and college where I said, you know what, fuck this. This is something that makes me happy. I enjoy it. I want to try doing it. And just time and life has not allowed me to get back into doing things that genuinely make me happy. So I lost it again. And I just recently started picking it back up, which if I could find my sketchbook, I would show you guys what I've been doing. But I do have a sketchbook where I was starting to try and draw things on paper, and I do intend on getting a drawing tablet at some point, because the actual like creation of something I'm not great at. But if you give me something and you want me to do something with like a layout, colorizing, just like making a finished product, the editing of it, I can do that all fucking day. All day. Absolutely all day. I'm so good at that. I just don't have resources to be able to do that the way I want to. And it's taking time. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
And we're gonna support you every step of the way. I have a single picture of one of the pages of your sketchbook, which was like shapes and stuff.
I sent you a couple of the other doodles that I was working off of that one site.
Yeah, I was looking for that one, but we have a lot of DMs.
We do.
Every time I search something on our DMs with lab, it's like 20 or 30 pages.
God. Oh god,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm probably
There's so much to go through. I could send it to you again, maybe.
Actually, I did find.
No,
like,
I think I deleted. I think I deleted things.
I have like a chibi little girl.
Oh yeah, that one. That one. Yeah, you can show that one.
Yeah, let me do this. No. Let's set this up, which was partially why I setting up things live. So this is one of the drawings that Lev was working on. There's also an elephant and a cat that I could show. So here's a cute cat. And all of these are like from a website that I think I have here. Hold on.
I mean, if you don't, I have it bookmarked. I can post it later.
I think you shared it to me like that same day. Oh yeah, this is the one with the fucking horses.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. So here's the website. They have, hold on, I can show you on stream. They have this fucking horse reference. It's like just add a few lines and you got a horse. Perfectly drawn horse. Oh, what the fuck?
Stupid. It's like they have like step by step, this is how you can draw this, and it's all very like cute and like streamlined and you get it, and then they fucking meme you with the horse, and I love it.
Yeah. Because there's like, here's a crab, here's like some french fries, and here's a fucking horse.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's just, you know, with the whole being tired. Tron, thank you for the resub. The whole being exhausted and things is not helping. Oh god, Nadine shouted them out. You shouted them out, and chat's duplicating.
Oh no.
The
quadruple.
So I saw it 4 times. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no. But yeah, so I have a long, stressful relationship with art. I do love it very much. I'm very much in the, like, I love it. It's just getting to it. Anytime I'm doing anything for me, I always feel like I'm doing something wrong because I'm so used to doing things for other people.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I know I shouldn't feel wrong doing things for me, but that doesn't change the fact that I do. And I'm trying to get past that. And it's just taking some time.
Work on it. So I guess that answers the other question, like what our journey with art has been, also from Sin.
Yeah.
I guess I could respond that with the more recent stuff.
Which honestly we can both talk about, because a lot of the more recent stuff that you've been doing, I've had a hand in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So more recently, when like all of the art I've been doing over the past year, like the past year is when I've been doing the most art I've ever done in my life. And a lot of it is just designs and things that came to my brain and put on a canvas. I skipped the whole drawing on paper thing. I have no studies in art, no even reference of anything. So most of the things, especially when I'm working on designs, I'm like, I draw something and I send it to lab. Like, is this good? Does this look good? Is there something wrong with this? And since lab not only is very direct with her feedback, but she also has a very good eye for design. It's very helpful. Like I've improved a lot based on her comments. One of my favorite was, "These are ooh eyes on a sus bird."
Yeah, that's gonna go down as like the best comment ever, is when Khaz initially made their thirsty burp emote. They sent it to me. I was like, and they're like, it's something about it's not right. I'm like, no, it's got ooh eyes on a sus face.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, that's true. It made
like,
sense.
I don't know how else to put it, but like ooh eyes on a sus face.
Yeah, so I fixed that, and now everything's better. But yeah, everything I've learned how to draw, I've been doing it for a specific project, which is more how I usually learn things. I need a specific goal and like a direction. So just drawing for the sake of drawing wouldn't have gotten me anywhere near as far as I am right now.
And I'm very good at giving direction.
Yeah, you are. That's my journey with art.
Yeah, I'm the idea factory.
Pretty much.
It's, unless you like sit there and talk with us, like if you look at Khaz's stream overlays, the Fungus stream overlays, like Khaz did the podcast desktop with the microphone and all that themselves, but I said the frames. Like I said, let's do frames for on the webcams for when people are doing stuff for the podcast, and I said let's do some kind of like shroomy background, and I gave them the idea of doing the gradient on the purple and green stuff on their channel and having feathers and things, and in the grand scheme of things, I have told Cass to do so many things.
Yeah,
I like
that.
Just so many things.
Because I'm usually the one who thinks on all of the groups that I've been, all of the projects I've been a part of. So
Mm-hmm.
having someone to think for me and me just bashing my head against problems, it's a lot more entertaining for me than
Mm-hmm.
just trying to come up with something. Like, I don't want to come up with an idea, I want to come up with a solution. And
Mm-hmm.
Lab has a lot of ideas, so I can
And
just go wild.
when you don't have solutions, I have solutions for you.
Yeah. Like, that's not to say that I can't come up with ideas or that Lab doesn't have the ability to come up with solutions. It's just the dynamic that we ended up on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I happen to have more resources and more time to come up with solutions. So Lab can just throw me an idea, wait a few hours, and then I come back with a solution while she's doing something else, usually working.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's been a number of times where it's like, hey, hey, I had this idea. Make this happen.
Yep. And like a couple hours later, I come up with a sketch, and she's like, I like this part, but not this one. You can fix this and whatnot. And by the end of the day, we have a finished product.
We're a good team.
It's a pretty good working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We can move on to the next question by Nadine, which is, what got us into the trophy community? And I want you to answer this one first because you have a better story.
So, trophy community for me, this goes back to college for me. I had a friend, I call him Sarge. We and he calls me Tex. For anyone that is familiar with Red vs. Blue, that's where the nicknames come from. We spent every single day together, purely by accident. We had the same major. We were both forensic chemistry majors, so we had a lot of the same courses, and a lot of the stuff, for those of you that are familiar with picking out courses for college or university. Nanners! You have to work around specific slots for all of your courses. And it just so happened that our schedules lined up, so we spent all day, Monday through Friday, in pretty much the same courses our freshman year. And we lived in the same complex on campus, so it was like, oh, so not only do we see each other all day for courses, now we're gonna see each other all day for eating. Let's just hang out. We're both pretty rad. He's a hilarious dude. I love him so much. We lost touch for a little bit after I left college, and then we reconnected a few times because life happens. We've lost contact again because he moved out of state for work. But one day he just randomly sent me this YouTube video. He's like, hey, I've been watching this channel. I think you'd be really into it. They're hilarious and also art. Watch. So he sent me one video, which is one of the Pokemon from Memory videos. The one where Julia drew Boom Boom. Wait, no, it was the Marvel. No, yeah, it was the Marvel from it because it was Boom Boom. Boom Boom was my first video with Drawfee. It wasn't a Pokemon from Memory. It was Heroes that they've never heard of, whatever one it was. You know who Boom Boom is. You know Julia's Boom Boom at least. You know Julia's Boom Boom at least. But that was my first video. And after that, it was like, oh my god, I love this. I love this so much. So I did the thing that I usually do, where a friend of mine sends me a thing that they're like kind of into, and then I start getting into it, and then I surpass even how they were, and I become obsessed with it, and it becomes my thing for the next however long. So, we kind of lost, like, we didn't talk very, my friend Sarge and I, we didn't talk very much. But one of the times that we hung out for a New Year's Eve oops, I forgot it was your birthday party at his place. We were talking about stuff, and I was telling him about different things that I had watched Ruffy do, and he's like, I've never heard of any of this. And we got started talking, and I was telling him all of these things about Jacob and Julia and Nathan, and he's like, how do you know this much about them? How? How? I'm like, this is like this is what I do. This is what I do. I watch them. I can watch them while I'm at work. I can watch them at home. This is what I do. This has become my everything. So I was watching all of the Drawfee content pretty much all day, every day for a very long time. And this actually does lend its way to a later question of Drawfee is what got me onto Twitch. Finding out that they were going to be doing live stream versions on a different platform from YouTube is what literally drew me to Twitch. I wasn't on Twitch before they started streaming. and you know, here we are. So
Yeah.
that's my story of how I got into Drawfee, and also how I got onto Twitch.
Yeah. For me, Drawfee kind of just showed up on my recommended. Back before I started heavily getting into Twitch, I was heavily into YouTube. So I would spend 4 to 6 hours watching stuff on YouTube. And I believe the first video I watched was the Pokemon from Memory 1. And then I watched that one. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then I didn't come back to it. And then I saw the Steven Universe one. I was like, huh, this is really funny. So from there on, I kept watching on and off. And I think that's when they started getting more popular as well. So I started I've watched pretty much all of the episodes since then. I just don't have memories of anything. So I could probably go back and watch them again. It would be like the first time, because
that's another
back,
fun part of our dynamic is you can't remember anything and I remember everything.
Yep. Give me a second. I need to swap my headphones. I'm gonna use my wired ones.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, I was like listening to music for like hours before this stream, because I somehow woke up early today.
I had a thought to wake up early.
Connected. Fuck.
I had a thought to wake up early today because I wanted to maybe dye my hair before we got onto doing this, and that clearly didn't work out. Oops. Maybe I'll do it after we end this. Gil, have you met us? Have you met us? Have you met us? When are we not swearing?
Oh. Yeah. I'm fucking sorry.
No, you're not.
So yeah, that's my relationship with Drawfee, and I guess to jump to the other part is how did I make it to Twitch. I was on Twitch since before. I've been on Twitch since 2011. Back in the old day, I used to follow a group called the Creatures, and they had Twitch stream every once in a while, which I followed. I was also watching Ash Bear stream every once in a while, and that whole group. And then I kind of fell off of Twitch because it was hard to keep up with. I was a lot more on YouTube. I liked watching things on my own pace. And then I started watching Legend of Zelda speedruns on Twitch again. And from there, I moved on to watching Drawfee a bit more often. Secret Sleepover Society was how I kind of kept in touch with the Drawfee, with the Twitch side of Drawfee. And you know, from SSS, I moved on to this side of the community, which is where I'm standing right now. Which I guess segues us into how did we all meet, which is also a question by Rob.
Which Rob doesn't know that a lot of this, because Rob wasn't around for literally any of this.
Yep.
So all of this, like, how did we all meet really does ultimately lend into the last question from Nanners, which, I mean, we could make our way to eventually. But, the meeting, I remember seeing Khaz pop up randomly in streams. Khaz doesn't remember it, but I remember seeing Khaz pop up randomly in streams. And we would joke around a little bit, but that was it. The majority of us got started talking to each other on Twitch streams. Like, Dan, Wizard Dad, and I got started talking somewhat regularly because of the Mega Dungeon streams on Dropout, from when Wizard Dad was picked to be the hireling for an episode, and he adopted Henry Plotter, Justin Hall's character. Henry Plotter? The small chaotic child that Justin was playing. So Wizard Dad adopted this chaos wizard child, and I wanted to have some kind of a relationship with this child as well, so I claimed him as my nephew. Even though I wasn't involved in the game in any way, shape, or form, which, those of you that don't know, Mega Dungeon was a weekly stream bit that was happening on the Dropout channel that had Brian Miller DMing with Eli Uden playing a chat-controlled character where literally every decision about this character was determined by chat. Carolyn Page was a regular in it. Nathan played for a little bit. I think Julia played for a little bit. Jacob, I think, might have been there for an episode, a session. But Justin was there for a lot of it. And it was original white box D&D with some homebrew-ish stuff that Brian tossed in. But it was great. It was entertaining. But, I mean, and they would pick a random person from the chat every episode to act as a hireling that would help them out with everything. And people started developing relationships. So Wizard Dad adopted Henry, and I was like, okay, well, I really love Henry. I don't want to be his mother because that would be weird, but I can be his aunt. I can be his aunt. He can be my nephew. And so Wizard Dad and I started going back and forth like we were siblings. I'd see him in chat and I would yell, "Brother! Brother, I've missed you!" And, you know, I got started talking to, yes, thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Nadine, for being awesome. Yeah, I'm getting so emotional that my voice is leaving me.
Take your time.
But I started connecting with people more because I was shouting out Slam and their channel to get more people there at things where I was like, hey, friends. We've got this other person in our community that does really rad art and is also streaming now. Please come check them out. Please, they're amazing. I love them. Please come look. Please come look. Please come look.
Literally spamming.
Yeah, like respectfully so, and that was, I think it's Goblin Scream.
Goblin voice.
Yell. It's something with a goblin voice. Yeah, it's Goblin Voice. Brian's new channel is Goblin Voice. I remembered Goblin because his Twitter handle is Brian is Goblin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up, Khaz and I ended up like officially like connecting and talking and chatting and things, from when Secret Sleepover Society raided into Duel doing a stream of Jackbox games that Duel, Loop de Loop, Dan, Slam, and I were all playing.
Yep.
Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so I frequented SSS a lot. I would watch it every time they went on. There were names that repeated. Like I faintly remember Lep being called out when subbing. I remember Slam gifting subs as they usually do. I remember Duel gifting subs as they usually do. And at one point someone suggested to raid Duel, and I was like, oh cool, I didn't know Duel streamed, I want to check that out. And I hang out there. All of you were pretty fucking rad. I was made aware that Slam streamed by Lap, obviously, and and there were also other people streaming. Like I remember Duel shouting out Shane at the time. And so I went over to Slam's stream when I saw it. A lot more people were awesome, so I just hung around. I got into the Discord. I checked out some of the lab streams, and I was like, ooh, this lab person, pretty neat. Back in the Final Fantasy streams.
Imagine that.
So the more like close interactions were happening after I saw that Lap was shouting people out on the Discord, and the way she was doing was manual. So she was just grabbing the link, posting it on Discord, then going to Twitter, posting it on Twitter, and shouting people out on the as a highlighted message on whatever stream she was on. So I was like,
yeah, it was a chore.
There's gotta be an easier way. There's gotta be an easier way. So behind the scenes, I just found a better solution. And my first DM to Lap is like, hey, I found this way of doing the thing that you've been doing, but it's much quicker. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
And Lab was like, oh, this is fun.
This is so much better. It was very much, I knew there was a better way out there. I just didn't have the time to look for it. So it's like, this is fine for now, I guess. I'll keep doing this. Sure, why not? And then Khaz came along and be like, hey, this thing you're doing, there's this other way that can do it, and it's automated, so you don't have to keep posting it everywhere. Like, fuck yes!
Yeah, so I usually don't do that. Like, I don't tell people that there's a better way to do what they're doing, because it usually comes off as being rude. You don't want to tell people that what they're doing is the wrong way of doing it. So I very tentatively just sent a message and was like, this is the way that you can do it, and there's this single thing that you have to do. And if you don't want to do it, fine, because we had no prior interaction to this. Like, we had a few chats on Slam's stream, but not like any I know you kind of thing.
So I actually have a question off of that. What made you decide to actually send me that message? Like, what was different about that situation that made you decide to reach out to me?
Well, from hanging out on your stream, I was like, you're a pretty cool person, pretty sensible individual, and by the nature of Discord, I could see all of the messages that you have already sent. So I was like, this person has been doing this for a while, and it takes way too long. So I'm just gonna do this one thing. The Discord call is still not connecting, but stream seems to be back up. Yeah, well, okay. So let me actually disconnect from this and reconnect video call. Come on, Discord. I said so many insightful things, and nobody heard all of my important comments.
I can hear you again!
Yay! Nice. Oh, cool. OBS like reloaded all of the messages, and just a wall of F on my chat now. Yeah.
Okay. So you were talking about the whole deciding to reach out to me thing.
Yeah. So I didn't have any logical reasoning behind it. I was just like, maybe yes. I don't know. I'm gonna shoot my shot, and if she...
You're gonna shoot your shot.
I know what I said. And if she's like, I don't know you, I don't know if I can trust what you're telling me, because the way it was done, Leb had to send me a link that would give me permission to send any message to that specific channel. So if Leb decided that I was a piece of shit, then that would have been a bad thing to have.
I mean, you are a piece of shit.
I am a piece of shit.
That's beside the
point. So for some reason you trusted me, and for some reason I decided to send you a message. And now
now here we are doing our thing.
Yeah. Now we pretty much do everything in as a team. Yeah. What were your first impressions of me?
I was happy to have someone actually reach out to me with a solution that seemed like they knew what they were talking about. And it wasn't in any kind of condescending way of this thing that you're doing. It's a waste of time. You need to do it this way. It was a very approachable suggestion. And I mean, you were funny every time we talked to each other in someone else's stream chat. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Why not? Let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
It was and it was basically anything that I can get that isn't going to make me spend my entire day just posting links somewhere is gonna be great.
So I went back to our first DM, and my last sentence is, not sure if you care or want to use it, but it's an option, and life it's all about options.
So yeah, just the way it was presented to me was already a step above anyone else that would have probably sent me anything, and I really appreciated that. And so that, yeah, I had a feeling, and turns out I was right, as I usually am with my feelings.
You are usually correct in how you think about things.
And then things just kind of developed slowly. Slowly? Can I say slowly? No, because it wasn't even slowly.
No, I kind of took on roles.
Yeah.
Very quickly, because after hanging, I will hang out with on lab streams a lot. I still do, but I took a liking to lab very early on, so I will hang out, and when people were on chat, like Slam was a mod, but we didn't have like the roles that we have for mods anymore.
Mushroom's down.
Oh no. Well. So like shouting out people, link sharing, telling people to follow someone else or to shout out socials, things like that. It wasn't something that we would usually do. So back then when rules were a little looser, if lab got raided or if someone followed or something like that, I would be like doing the mod duties that now I do, but without being a mod.
Which is what we do for Riley.
Yes. So at one point, Lab was like, you know what? Just have the badge. And
just make this official.
Yeah. So then I actually became a mod, and from then I just piled on swords. Because if Lab could trust me, then other people were like, yeah, this person probably is. Was that my first sword? Yes, that was my first sword. I got my first sword.
I was your first sword?
You were my first sword. Because I wasn't.
Didn't know that.
Because I wasn't on Twitch at that point, like not as heavily. So
I didn't know that.
So Lab was my first sword, and then I got one on Slam stream, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he moved on from there.
I mean, Slam was my first sword, for obvious reasons.
So yeah, that's how we started our interactions, how we met.
And now you're a Discord admin. You're a channel editor on my channel. You co-run a channel with me.
It's been a journey.
18.
That's good enough. I'll take that one.
Yeah. So, Khaz, I think, I think way back when I decided to just make you channel editor, I think was the point that you realized just how much I trusted you with stuff.
Yeah, because being a channel editor means changing tiles, changing the game
actually
that you're
like
playing.
altering things about my streams and my channel and stuff for me. But yeah, I fully trust Khaz. Like one of the things that I really love about the relationship that we have, whether it's the working relationship or just the friendship, is that we have no boundaries, no barriers. Like, we tell each other what it is. We joke around a lot, but we're always totally honest with each other.
So yeah, like lab holds me to very high standards.
I do. I do.
So if at any point I fuck up in some way, and you tell Lab is not gonna protect me. Lab is gonna fucking go down on me. But not in the fun way.
We are just compatible. We are just compatible. But yeah, if Khaz ever does anything that isn't great, or they fuck up on something, I call him out. And yeah, I've called them out on some things before. I've used their actual first name before, which is how they know they're in deep shit.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone was there to witness that.
Mm-hmm. Like I still am very surprised that you trust me as much as you do, given your relationship with people in general.
Well, the way I look at it too is that I know things about you that no one else in the Fungus knows.
Yes.
Like very specific things about your location and other personal information about you, and you know that I have the capability to do things with it. Yep. Should you cross me that hard?
Mm-hmm. And I always get surprised when Lep is like, yeah, sure, you can do this. I remember back when she gave me the Cuervolila role, I was like, ooh, this is a pretty color. And then I realized I had mod powers and shit. I was like, oh.
It's not just a pretty color and a cute name. It's you actually have a responsibility now.
It took me a while to figure that one out because I noticed that the channel panel looked different, but I couldn't put my finger on why.
What sentence? What sentence, Nadine? What sentence? Which we do have a question from Marnie that we should get to at some point, but maybe after we get to the stuff that was present to us.
Yeah.
So that was the whole how we made ourselves to Twitch and how we met. So favorite and least favorite things about streaming from Nadine. I have a few favorite things about streaming. Part of me getting into it was I would go for long periods of time without playing any of my video games. I've been playing video games since I was probably old enough to hold a controller in my hand. And I actually got started with a lot of my favorite games because I watched my older brother play them. But as adulting started happening, I was having less and less time to play games. And streaming is this wonderful opportunity where I have time I set aside every week to play video games, and I have friends that will sit and watch and chat with me the entire time. So it makes me feel like I'm not neglecting my consoles, because that's video game consoles and the games. If you're not playing them, that's a lot of money to drop on something that you're doing nothing with, and I can't let that happen.
Yep.
So streaming has afforded me this wonderful opportunity to actually keep up with one of my favorite hobbies regularly enough that I can actually finish games now. I can finish games. And also just the interactivity with friends that I've made, that's one of my favorite things, and being able to have a way to make everything my own, do things my own way within reason, because of my least favorite parts of streaming, the whole not being able to maintain a connection and have my stream drop, and all of the technical issues and things that have to be workarounds, which we joke around about needing to give me better internet, but for the area that we're in right now, like my dad and I have looked into it, for the area that we're in right now, this is the best internet that we can get. Anything else isn't going to perform anywhere near as well, which is a problem, and that's all there is to it.
It's also the infrastructure in Lep's room. Like the coverage on her room is not the greatest,
and that's with having boosters.
Yeah. So Either
And-
rewire her entire house, or or find a better solution.
Yeah, we'd have to rewire everything to be able to actually put like Ethernet ports in for me to plug into, or I just make do with what I have for now.
Like I've joked about telling Lep to buy like 100-foot cable to connect directly to the like main,
and it would
switch.
It would have to go from my room down the stairs, around things in the dining room, and it's just no.
Yeah. No. It could be done, but it would be too much effort.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
My favorite part about streaming is the people. Entertaining. Because for those who don't know, I've been doing content for the internet since about 8 or 9 years at this point. Like I started a YouTube channel way back in the day. I was doing videos for my friends on middle school. Like I would record Left 4 Dead matches and convert them to 3GP. I don't know if y'all had to like futz with that video format. It was fucking horrible. You could barely tell what was going on. Do I have my old phone?
Uh-oh, it's gonna be show and tell time.
If I can see it, give me a minute. I think I can find it.
Okay, we're gonna give Khaz a minute. Nice, Campbell. I need to figure out things that you guys can spend those points on. Do you guys want to do the whole make them stream this on this day or something on the Fungus channel? Cause I'll do it. I could set that stuff up if you guys want to do that, because, I mean, obviously you keep doing it for both Khaz and me on our separate channels. We can do that here. Okay, yeah, well, you know, we can brainstorm some stuff.
I guess not. I have a bag of like electronics that I never got rid of, including my old phone, but I don't know where that is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would record matches for
we can figure that stuff out,
my
Nadine.
friends and show those to them. And then I was like, oh, YouTube exists. Let me post them there. And I never got any kind of reception because I wasn't doing it very often. And I was also doing it on a language that it's not the main language of my country. So I couldn't promote myself to anyone. I was kind of doing it out to the void. And that went on for many years. And then you guys came along. You guys were a fully formed community. And I could finally do things for people and hang out and make their day different. Don't know if better.
Better.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you.
I do say so, and we've been over this. When I say these things, they're right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not debating it.
See, Nadine agrees. Sin agrees. I mean, there's your answer. There's your answer.
So that part,
Ooh,
I will.
Ooh.
So that part of streaming is always pretty fun, just hanging out, showing people things, and just providing a good time. That's what I'm about. The least favorite part about streaming is the people.
So accurate.
Because everyone on the Fungus is great, but there's always that one asshole. So dealing with a large community and seeing people come in and not being great, it's always kind of like, now I got to deal with this problem. But thankfully we all are on the same page, so when something like that happens, it can be dealt with pretty quickly.
Yeah, like that time that I was streaming Fallout 4 and that guy came in and was giving me shit for streaming Fallout 4 and then also gave everyone in chat shit for watching me stream Fallout 4 and you're only here because it's a girl.
Yeah.
No, we really don't have to deal with problematic people too often, and it's ultimately because I think of how the community formed and the work that has gone into cultivating the right atmosphere for us to be the community that we are.
Yeah. So that aspect of it, I think that's why a lot of people stick around, because we don't deal with assholes nearly as much as other people.
No. I have zero patience for assholes in that sense.
And having not only worked in retail, but also being a teacher, gives me zero patience with assholes. Because you think students are bad, you haven't dealt with parents.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, Nadine.
So, we have established rules that everyone is pretty keen on following, and when someone brings up problems, then not only the mods, the streamer, but also all of the people in chat are like, yo, stop it. And that deters them from being such a problem. The technical issues while streaming, they happen. Like, I've had pretty much every single problem you can think of. I've dealt with it. It's fine.
It's not fine.
Well, it's infuriating, but I on no anger. I just move on. And I
know anger very well.
Yeah, Leb has all the anger that I don't have. And I can either fix them or know that I just have to wait until it works again. Like, having connection issues, for me, it's a problem because I can't tell you guys that I'm having a problem, because I know you guys will just kind of wait a bit and see if it gets resolved. But yeah, streaming is fun.
We do have, Khaz and I, between the two of us, do have methods for Khaz to contact me for when that does happen now.
Yeah.
Because of how repeatedly it is.
So,
which is like the same thing with like Slam when their stream goes down. Like, I have offline ways to connect with both of them, so that if it does happen, they can let me know. Or I can, which in Slam's case is more me sending them a message and be like, hey, stream died, hello.
Yeah. Because sometimes my internet dies and I can't tell Lep, because it's either Discord, Twitter, maybe at the Instagram DM if she ever looks at those.
I do. I just don't get many. I think the only DMs I've gotten in like the past year are from Chris.
Very long copper string connection. Yeah, it took a few months to arrive. That's why it took so long.
We have telegrams we can send.
Yeah, Because sometimes, like, when my internet dies, I can buy an unlimited pack, like a 24-hour pack for my phone. So I can connect my phone and be like, yeah, this is fine. But sometimes not even my phone on my internet on my phone works. So if push come to shove, I can let Lep know, like, hey, nothing's working. I guess I'll see you in an hour.
Which is actually what happened when you went down. It went down and you sent me a message and I was able to tell everyone it went down.
Yep. So streaming is fun. Content creation is fun.
Oh yeah.
It just takes some resilience. And for anyone who wants to get into content creation and it's not working out, keep doing it, because it's as much about doing it for a long time as it is doing a good thing. Because you can have the best stream ever, but if you don't do it consistently enough, people are just not gonna come back to it.
Right.
And we have the luck that we have such a big community, and if people start streaming, we can just boost their stream and skip the whole building a community part of it.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the shortening of the length of time it takes for someone to start streaming, and when they make affiliate on Twitch these days. Which for some people it's been like a week. Week of streaming and oops, you're affiliate. Yeah.
And that's something that just doesn't happen. Like on my other channel, on my Spanish channel. On my Spanish channel, I've been streaming for longer than I've been on my English channel, and I'm still not.
Shash, hello!
Hi there, Shash. Yeah, on my Spanish channel, I've been streaming longer than on my English channel, and I'm still not affiliate there. I still don't have a community. The only chatters there are you guys.
Yeah, and it's only us dropping emotes. It's not consistent chatting either, which has been picking up a little bit because Sin and some other people have been attempting to chat in Spanish.
Yeah. But that if anyone wants to know how usually streaming on Twitch goes when you don't have the kind of community that we have, hop over to my Spanish channel, because you will know that I stream there for hours and there's not a single message on chat. There's just one viewer.
Usually me.
Usually Lab.
Thank you for shouting, shout out, Nadine.
Yeah. Go check her out.
Yeah, do check her out.
I guess that's the end of my statement. I thought I had more to say, but turns out I don't.
So do we want to move on to Nanner's question?
Sure.
Okay, so Nanner's asked us what it's been like to find ourselves kind of accidentally at the helm of this growing community, and I think to answer that, we have to go all the way back to how the Discord started, which next week, guys, next week is the Frungiversary. April 1st is the Frungiversary. We've been a thing for a year. That's insane. I just hit my streamiversary 2 days ago on the 25th.
Yeah.
We've got the Frungiversary next week, and then my affiliate anniversary is on April 20th. Hashtag 420, hashtag blaze it. So, to get into what it's been like to accidentally helm the growing community, the whole reason the Discord existed and did in the original qualified content state was because of the things that happened with College Humor and everyone getting laid off. Also, hello, Miles.
Hi there, Miles. I'm glad you showed up just at that second.
Yeah, we had this community of people that were all really big fans of these wonderful, amazing, talented online comedians and artists that suddenly found themselves out of work. Some of them had no means of reliable income for a considerable amount of time and were streaming in order to maintain any income whatsoever. And I love them, but I also didn't have the means myself to be able to show them any kind of financial support. So I sat and thought about it for a hot second, literally. It's like, okay, well, I can't throw money at them like I would want to if I had it. But what can I offer them? Like, well, I have skills. I have skills relating to the internet and both being able to find information, being a constant source of a wealth of information, and also organizing people and making sure that they have easier access to the information than I do, because searching is difficult for many people.
Yep.
So it's like, I wanted to create a one-stop. This is where all of these people, this is where all this information on all of these people is going to have, so that everyone can come here, find information about everyone, and find out when everyone's streaming, which is when I was posting the links manually and all the time. And I actually had a schedule that was a pinned message on the Discord for a while that had schedules for when Eli and Carolyn and Jacob and Julia and everyone were streaming, because this was how I could show them support. I could make sure other people knew when they were streaming, so that those people could in turn support them the way I couldn't. And that's ultimately what started the Fungus, was wanting to support these people that I cared about and just couldn't throw money at. And people just kept flocking to us, and then we all started streaming, and it's evolved over time to what it is now, and it's overwhelming at times to think how far it's come in just a year. I don't know how. I don't know how to put into words what I feel at times, because, like, yeah, there's times where I'm overwhelmed. I can't interact with everyone. I can't be everywhere all the time and be aware of everything, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. There's gonna be stuff that you guys are into that I'm not. Like, I fully support that you guys do watch parties. I can't be a part of that. I can't. Oh, mini pizza. Rachel is doing a 24-hour stream. Interesting.
We're gonna definitely write into Rachel.
Yes. So, yeah, I approached it as, this is my way of helping people I care about. And that list of people I care about kept growing and growing and growing. And I just also, like Khaz, I'm also someone that I can find a solution to a problem much faster than most people can. And I've had people, since we started becoming a community, be like, hey, I'm having problems with this. Can you please help me? Can you please help me? Which is where the tips and tricks channel came from, because I'm not going to have all the answers to everything all the time, but I know someone else is going to. Usually that someone else is Khaz.
Accurate though.
But yeah, it's been a wild ride, and we're slowly working on things to improve stuff, like getting this podcast started, and it's taking time because I have stepped back from helping everyone sin. I know my limits. I've stepped back. I don't help everyone all the time anymore. I just let things happen, and eventually, if it takes too long, I'll be like, okay, fine, here's this thing. But yeah, it's been wonderful to watch other people step up and help, and I don't feel like I have to shoulder that burden on my own. Which, not to say that helping anyone in the fungus is a burden, but it can be, just the act of helping can be a burden.
Yeah.
And I'm very okay with not helping everyone all the time. I need to take care of me and be selfish every now and then.
Yeah, back when I made myself a part of the fungus, I realized people were having certain issues that I had experience with, and I was trying to help everyone. I in turn became this person that was always there to help, and I wanted to have a hand on pretty much everything, because I knew that me taking care of that meant that that person could do what they wanted more easily and without the frustration of not being able to figure it out. But as the community grows, one, I cannot have the time to help everyone, and two, if I have a hand on everything, it feels like I don't want people to think that I just want to control what everyone else is doing, because obviously that would feel wrong. I want to make sure that you guys are able to do what you want. I don't want to make it seem like I pushing you in a certain direction. So I'm trying to, like, I'm at the stage where I want to set procedures, so to speak, so that you guys can find answers on your own, and I'm like the more like that we really cannot find a solution to this problem, what's going on, because otherwise I'm gonna burn myself out. There's a couple hundred of you, so I gotta make sure that even though I love helping you guys and I love being where I am in this community, I need to make sure that I have time for everything that I want to do. And if I use my time solely to help other people, I'm not gonna finish my own projects. So yeah,
Yep, oops, too many friends.
Being accidentally at the helm of the growing community, like, it's a community that I didn't even start it. Like, I just inserted myself here. Love you, Gail. So just happening to be at the forefront with someone that historically doesn't trust people, it's very surreal.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I don't trust people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's over 100 people on the Fungus server alone.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have 21, 23.
I don't think I'm a founding spore, Nadine.
There's, not accounting for bot, there's like 100. There's like 120 people on the Fungus server on Discord, give or take, because I didn't bother looking for the number of bots that we have. Which there's only a couple.
Yeah, it's like 3. But yeah, I don't consider myself a founding spore. Like, I didn't figure out anything with the start of the fungus. I just kind of helped improve things that were already happening.
Yeah, exactly what Gil said. Like, it's not a huge community, but it's a very tight-knit community. There's a lot of people that are very close with each other in it, and we know a good number of people very well.
Yeah, and as the community grows, there's gonna be groups that form.
And that's fine.
Yeah, because
that's a thing in your community. There should be subsections of it because not everyone's going to share all the same interests.
Yeah, and that's kind of the direction where I want to push the Friend Fungus as a brand, quote unquote. Like, we're not gonna be this one thing. There's gonna be like, we're gonna be like college humor. There's gonna be your dropout. There's gonna be your dorkly.
Yeah.
There's gonna be subgroups within the Fungus.
So the thing with the whole thinking about March, April is that's literally when the Fungus started. That's literally April 1st is the anniversary because it is the oldest date I could trace any post back to on the server. Yeah, and that's fine, especially given the number of people that we have that deal with different levels of anxiety and mental health issues. Which I think is also one of the most unique things that we have as a community is that we are so open with the fact that there are a number of us that have anxiety and mental health issues, and we talk about it, and we encourage each other to talk about it even when we might not be totally comfortable with it, because talking about it does ultimately help.
Yeah. So when people kind of feel a little bit weird about having these groups and not being like with each other all the time, I recommend you guys to just participate on the things that you're most interested in, and if you haven't participated in some of the other ones, that's fine, because a thing that you haven't participated in is a conversation that you can have later.
Nadine, you're one of the founding Frungs.
Yep.
You're one of the founding Frungs.
Nadine was before I was on the Fungus.
Nadine picked up after me with promoting Slam on other people's channels.
Yep. And like when as an example, like Leb has watched a lot of media that I never even heard of. And I could have the feeling of, oh, I missed out on all of this great shit back in the day. But the beauty of it is that now we can have all of these conversations, and Leb can be like, oh, there's this one movie that has this and that, and this one show that I really recommend you watching. And we can have hours of conversations because there's things that I wasn't a part of. So the people who aren't on the D&D group, they can then later on talk to the people who are in the D&D group and be like, oh, there was this great campaign, and they can tell it as a story instead of just the game itself. Or if something happened in voice chat, you can bring it up on a stream and have this conversation on how this ridiculous thing happened while you were in voice chat. So don't be afraid of having these little pockets, because this little pockets...
Nadine was doing all the promoting, now Nadine is being the promoted.
Yep. It's full circle, baby. This is So the community is pretty big. It's weird. It's weird feeling the responsibility of this many people, but you know, thinking about it, if I moved on with being a teacher, I would also be responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of people. So this is something that I was already mentally prepared for, and I'm glad that I am where I am.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about it the other day, that you constantly have like annual plans that you make for yourself that have to get adjusted time and time again, like every year. And being a part of this community has sort of adjusted things for annual plans for yourself, and sort of not, and in a good way.
Yeah. Because I have a constant 5-year plan. Like, from the point I am, where am I gonna be in 5 years? Which is not something that I used to do. Like, when I got into university, I was like, here I am. And then one of my teachers was like, "What was your 5-year plan?" I'm like, "What?" And she told me that you have to have a 5-year plan so you know where you're going. And I shoved the idea at first because I was like, I don't have the mental capacity to think that much forward. But in reality, it was best for me to have a direction. So I started making 5-year plans. But then my 5-year plan kind of got fucked because shit happened and I no longer could go that way. So I had to learn to, at the start of the year, be like, where I am, and is the 5-year plan that I have still valid, or are there changes that need to be made? This year, my plans didn't change so much as they have a more focused direction, because my idea was to just go to the States and move there. Now I have a network of friends that can actually welcome me, and I can actually go visit them and not just arrive at the States and hope for the best. Which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I've never had a 5-year plan. I can never make a 5-year plan. I can't think that far ahead, and I understand the need for direction. I don't need direction that much.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Because my thing is, if someone, even myself, if I try to give myself if someone tries to give me direction, or if even I try to give myself direction, I'm always going to be like, okay, that's a direction, but what about this? What about this other thing? I'm always going to want to deviate. So if I don't have a direction, then there's nothing for me to try to deviate from, and I can just exist.
Yeah.
So not having a 5-year plan is great for me. I have a plan. It's not a timeline plan, but I have a plan.
Yeah.
And it's just steps that need to be taken in order for me to actually get out on my own and to be able to take care of myself, and maybe host some people should they want to come and visit. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe when Khaz decides to come visit me.
Maybe I'll see if that can fit within my plan. I'll check back on you next year.
Next year, okay, next year. Well, we won't talk again for a year. Yeah, yes. That makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah, just the whole. I still don't know what to call myself. It feels weird to say that I home a community, especially given that it's such a it's such a collectively driven community. Which is why if you look on my Twitch bio, it says Headshroom with a question mark. I don't know.
Yeah. But you did start all of this.
I did start all of it, and all of it exists. We were talking about it. Khaz and I have talked about it a lot of the time. It's like there's so many things that are in existence today with like the connections that we have with each other and the memes that we have with each other, the artwork that we've all made, that I'm constantly like thinking about, holy shit, none of this would probably exist if I hadn't started sharing people's links because they were out of work.
Lives would be different.
Yeah. Thank you, Chesh. That's also something that's overwhelming, is the whole realizing that when you trace everything back far enough, ultimately I am responsible for so many things that have happened over the past year, that the domino effects, the ripples, that's just, oh my god, I'm responsible for all of that.
Yep.
So the name is actually from Nanners. Nanners came up with Friend Fungus. I don't remember the full details of it, but Nanners had watched a thing, and there was this friendly mushroom thing, I guess. And Nanners had said that that was something that they really wanted in their life. Just to have. No, it's not actually a crit roll thing. I think it was something else that Nanners had been watching. We would have to talk to Nanners to get a definitive, but I'm pretty sure it's not a crit roll thing. It just relates to crit roll because there is a character in their current campaign that is a death cleric. No, grave cleric. It's a grave cleric. And deals a lot with decomposition and has a lot of theming with mushrooms on things. But ultimately, Nanners had said that they wanted to have that kind of an effect in their life, a friendly little mushroom fungal thing. And when I'm pretty sure it actually happened in one of the streams that Duel was rated into from SSS. That Nanners suggested the Friend Fungus, and it just immediately took. I was like, yep, no, that's us. It was Nanners and Terry jumped in on that conversation, and Duel loved it. I was like, yeah, that's what the community is now. That's it. That's where the name is. The friendly mushroom actually was a drawing suggestion given to Nathan to draw a Friend Fungus, which happened after we formed. But now we have Nathan artwork of a friendly mushroom, which you can see on Khaz's channel on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was trying to find it, but I don't remember where I have that.
I tweeted Nathan's, drawing to Duel, when it happened. Yeah, that did come from us. That was a suggestion provided to Nathan on a Drawfee stream by Fungus people. It kept coming up in chat, and Nathan was drawn to it, and then drew it. So yeah, that's where the name came around.
I don't have the color version very at hand.
Okay, so we do have that question from Marnie that you saved, and then we also have one from Gil that
Thank you, Gil, for using the point redeem. Thank you for reading. So should we go in order? Marnie first, Gil later?
Yeah, let's do Marnie's first. So Marnie asked when we both became comfortable with our gender and sexuality, and when did we find the pronouns that were comfortable for us. I'll start if you want.
Go for it. I actually don't know how much.
Mine's probably going to be short.
Yeah.
So I actually had a bit of a identity crisis when I was very young. I've mentioned it a few times. When I was in first grade, we had a lice outbreak, and I had very long hair. And so my mom was like, okay, you have this really long hair, there's a lice outbreak at school, we don't want anything to happen, so we're going to cut your hair. So she worked odd hours at a bank and wasn't able to take me, so she gave my dad explicit instructions to give a stylist to cut my hair to a chin length bob, longer in the back, slight angle. It's supposed to be real cute. I don't know what happened between when my mom gave my dad those instructions and when my dad gave the stylist his version. But something got lost in translation, and she ended up cutting my hair so that it was significantly shorter in the back. And I looked like a little boy. Which is traumatic enough for a 7-year-old child on its own, but this was my first year at this school, where the rest of the kids my age had gone to kindergarten and preschool together, and we wore school uniforms, and because of my aggressive and sporty nature and the interests that I have, when everyone first met me, they assumed that I was a boy with really long hair, pierced ears, and a girl's name.
Obviously.
So to have that bullying already a part of me, and then to go through this mildly traumatic experience of having this haircut that made me look like a little boy, I broke for a hot second. I was constantly being teased and picked on that for having the interest. Like, I love sports. I love action movies. I love things with car chases and fight sequences and explosions and stuff. And I'm an aggressive person, and I love fighting and building and working with tools and all these very masculine, like stereotypically masculine things. I've never been a very girly girl. I don't frequently wear dresses or makeup or anything. And when I was a kid, that was weird. When they figured out that I was a girl, it was like, ew, that's a girl, and she likes things that only boys are supposed to like. So I had this crisis, like, am I supposed to be a boy? Was I always supposed to be a boy? Am I wrong in being a girl? Like, am I not supposed to be a girl? So I had this crisis, this identity crisis at 7 years old, that I very quickly snapped out of, because I was lucky enough to have been taught certain things by my mother specifically, of other people's perception of you should not dictate how you perceive yourself and how you identify yourself. So I very quickly got to a point of, you know what? They're bullying me because they don't understand me, so fuck them. And yes, that is the exact phrasing I said to myself at 7 years old. So I got to a point where it's like, you know what? I am a girl. I was meant to be a girl. I just don't like the things that they think I should be liking, and that's fine. I don't need them. I was very young when I got to a point where I was like, I don't need social interaction to feel fulfilled, which is why I don't interact with as many people as everyone else does on a regular enough basis. I don't feel compelled to interact socially on a regular basis. I would be perfectly fine never talking to most people ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with it.
That's why we're getting you a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
And calling it haunted, for anyone who asks.
So I I did say most people. I said most people, not everyone, most people. There are a select few people that I'd be like, yeah, if I never heard from them again, I'd be genuinely upset. But the overwhelming majority, I'm like, you know what? I don't need this. And the list of people that I would miss having contact with has grown significantly since the fungus formed. Yes, there is also the stipulation that Khaz's bourbon does not count as people.
True. I agree with that.
But yeah, it's just, I came to terms with, this is who I am, this is what my interests are, and this is, people don't understand it, that's fine, that's their problem, not mine. The whole thing with, and so that's the comfort level with the gender identity. The sexuality thing is an ever-evolving level of finding comfort with it. I've gotten to a point where I used to use the different, like I used to identify as certain things, and I talked about it not too long ago on the one of the mature channels, where I was working in retail and I had one of my coworkers, who is a very flamboyantly gay man, give me the whole, "Oh honey, every girl is bisexual at some point. It's not that big a deal." And I thought about it, and it was like, you know, that's wrong, but also, does this term really apply to me? And it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I don't really care to slap a label on it, because it's something that changes for me constantly. I could be like enthralled with men or women or you know, non-binary individuals one day, and then I could not give two shits about seeing someone another day. It's just how it is. I like what I like, I know what I like, and that's all that matters, and I'm not going to define it just so that other people have an easier time understanding me. If you care about me, you're going to put forth the effort to understand that the only thing that matters about my interests is that I know what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, biphobic gay people, and this was also this was bi erasure by a gay Hispanic man at that. So there was a whole lot of like, where is this coming from? From him? Yeah. It angered me at the time, but when I had the time to actually like sit back and evaluate it and make my own determination of it, it gave me a clarity that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do me, that's all that matters. As long as, you know, I'm not hurting myself or hurting anyone else with, you know, excluding the instances in which the hurt is consensual. It shouldn't matter to anyone, and that's how I feel about anything. That's how I feel about everyone else. Like, I don't care. If you want to identify as something, that's great, that's fine. As long as you're finding fulfillment for yourself, you're not doing anything that's harmful to yourself or others, as long as it's not something that has been consented. Like, consensual harming can be choice if it's done properly. But yeah, just as long as you're taking care of yourself, you're not putting yourself or anyone else at any undue risk. Like, it's just do you. I don't care. There are more important things to worry about for me than what other people identify as.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that, and it hurts.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's a mood.
God
That's
damn
a
Sam.
mood.
God damn.
So that's. I said I was gonna have a short answer, and ended up not being short.
It's never a short answer. There's always a lot to say.
Yeah, so that's where I had my comfort and everything, and yeah, I am specifically she/her pronouns, but I'll answer to anything. Most people, when they see my handle anywhere, they just assume I'm a dude, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it protects me from a lot of the hostility towards women, specifically in the gaming communities.
Yep.
It helps making dick jokes as much as I do.
That's the one and only upside. Dick jokes.
I mean, yeah. I'm adjusting light because the sun's moving over my room and I'm looking a little dark on stream.
For me, the whole gender thing was it just kind of happened. I don't get social norms. I don't have the boundaries that most people would have. I don't care. And when I was coming out of high school, and I was like, I don't really feel like a man. Man doesn't really feel like me. How about women? So I went by the name Pamela on Facebook for a long time. And that also didn't feel right. So I was like, it's not one, it's not the other, then it must be a third one. And it was always a joke in university that people were like, Khaz is not a man, Khaz is just something else. Cause
oh, you're something else, alright.
Cause I never act like a regular man. I didn't fixate on the things that men usually fixate on. So I just kind of had this whole different vibe, and people always joke that I wasn't. Hi Moon. Joke that I wasn't a man. It's hard for me to use gender neutral pronouns in Spanish because Spanish is not friendly with gender neutral stuff. So I go by he on Spanish most of the time because I am male presenting, but sometimes I will have my hair down and a long coat and people will think I was a woman, and I will just greet them the same way because I didn't care. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
You call me a she and then I'm gonna be friendly, and that's fine. So when people ask me here in the community like what do you go by, and I was like, well, they works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And if any of you like it was funny because at the start a lot of people thought I was a woman, and I played with that a lot because it was funny. If you guys like use like not the pronouns that I've set for myself, then that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna get mad. Leb's gonna get mad.
It's not fine. Oh, is it sirens? Those are by you, right?
Yeah, there's a fire. Hold on.
Oh boy. I will kick ass if people use the wrong pronouns for anyone. But specifically cats.
There are like people trying to push gender neutral pronouns using, so let's say the word happy, it would be contenta for Spanish and contento for not for Spanish, for female, contenta, and contento for male. But there's the gender neutral contente, which people have been trying to use, but it hasn't been well established. There's a lot of rules that people haven't really thought about, and honestly it seems more cumbersome to me than it's worth. X is also that is being used to change like your regular ending letter for words, but it also like reading it is fine, but I mean writing it is fine, but how do you read it? How do you read an X sound on a word?
Yeah, the actual like verbalization of it.
Yeah, so people are trying. I don't think they've gotten there yet. And as a language major, language related things kind of like I give it a lot of thought, and I like it's not worth the effort. sometimes the effort to trying to change things in someone's vocabulary is cool. Like I love that people are starting to use they when they don't know someone's gender. Keeping that as a default, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's been what I've been doing for a number of years.
The Spanish has a lot of problems with that, and I'm simply, I just don't care. I just don't care. So if you call me a he in Spanish, I'm fine. If you call me a she, I'm fine. Like I will respond to you nonetheless.
I mean, you're fine regardless.
Yeah.
But also correct pronouns.
Yeah. It's easier to define that in English. What's Looms? Looms is the band that's playing right now.
Yeah, Looms. Yeah, if you don't know Looms is actually a band that my cousin is the guitarist in, and that's actually I do appreciate that I shared the music with everyone. And then Khaz went out and reached out to them and did not mention me at all when they asked to use their music on stream. So my cousin has no idea that I have introduced their music to so many people all over the world. I still haven't talked to him since then. But yeah, the guitarist in Looms is my cousin, Chris, and he's fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
I love him so much.
Chicago.
One of the millions of Chris's that I know, but yeah, Looms is Chicago-based band that yeah, that's my cousin. He's my brother from another mother. We shared birthday parties a lot as children because his birthday's at the beginning of December.
Since search of Spanish is on gender and its bound, could one, while referring to an enemy person, interchanging gender terms intermittently? That steps on gender fluid people. So it's an option. To be fair, most people default to male pronouns no matter what. Like even if you're talking about inanimate objects in Spanish, you will usually default to male. That's just how we done things. It will change eventually.
Yeah. We do have to get to Gil's question at some point, which I think we might have to open up the request menu because I can't scroll back far enough in chat.
I have the activity feed.
Okay, good.
So I can see it there. In terms of sexuality, as Leb has alluded to some, like in a few places, I like experimenting. And
yep.
And I am of the notion that I won't give an opinion about something unless I've tried it. Which opens my sort of field of options a lot. And I never say no to a new experience. I call myself bisexual because it's the easiest term. There's probably some nuances. To be fair, or like to be honest, I don't like how much splitting hairs there is in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, because if you think about it, there's a lot of sexualities that are pretty much the same but with one slight difference, and that hyper fixation on defining things, it's a little to me. So I just go with the good old bisexual. Do get ready for work, Gil.
Yes.
I hope we can get to your question before you leave.
Yeah.
But sexuality to me, I just like having fun. I just like having fun. I love you, Gil. Thanks for being here. We will answer your question. So if you want to go back to the VOD and listen to it, I will just tell you at some point in the future, next month.
Yeah, next month when we're gonna have someone else on here. Okay, so Gil is 15 minutes. We can still answer Gil's question and he can still hear us.
Gil's question was, what would be the first thing you would do if the friend fungus would grow 1,000 times overnight?
I might pull my hair out. I might scream and pull my hair out because how? Just how? It would take time to process. Like I wouldn't be opposed to that kind of growth, but the logical me that notices patterns and everything, if we were to experience that kind of growth overnight, would instantly be worried about how are we going to maintain this level, and is it going to fizzle out just as quickly, because that worries me. It's not even that we grew that much overnight, it's like, how are we going to maintain this so that we don't plummet just as quickly as we rose?
Yeah, I have a
and that's why I'm fine with things taking time to develop and us actually having time to think about how are we going to approach this, which is why it took so long for us to get the podcast going. Number one, Khaz was working on getting their computer upgraded, and then also we had to figure out a format and what are we going to do. And we need to build up a roster of people that we're going to invite onto this so that we can actually have other people do it. So this isn't just a Khaz and Lep channel. It's the community channel. We want everyone to be a part of it. Yes, one of us is always going to have a hand on every stream, but this is ultimately a community thing. Other people should be involved. This isn't just a Khaz and Lep thing. Well, Sin, by asking, you've entered the roster. We can figure out...
Congratulations.
Yeah. We just... Our thing is that we would just need to figure out a schedule. Give us topics that you would want to discuss. We can promote it. We can tell people, like we did like we did leading up to this. They can post questions that would be geared towards you around whatever topics you would want to discuss. They can post them up until the day before we do the stream, and then anything on stream has to be redeemed. If your schedule does not allow for you to be available during this time, we can disable the redeemed questions in chat and just only work off of the advanced questions and record something in advance and then just play it back as a video for the stream. We're fully prepared to accommodate anyone. Like, they don't have to be here physically over the internet physically the day of, because things happen, life happens, you're not always going to be here. But like we've reached out to a few people. I've said it before, but I've reached out to Shell specifically to talk about music and stuff. I've reached out to Riley to have him talk about art. I've reached out to Slam because I would love to have like a deep dive on Slam and their evolution through their art process and everything, and getting it to streaming and all that. Like, I know a good chunk of that information, but bringing that out so that other people can actually have a format to ask them questions and all of that. And if someone is an artist and would want to actually be drawing while we're doing this, we can have it set up so that we can show what you're working on while we're doing the podcast.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're doing it through Discord, because it gives me the option of grabbing whatever it is that's being shown, even if it's multiple webcams or multiple screen shares, and just plop it on the screen, and whatever it is that's happening, I can show it.
Yeah, John, if you want to do an art stream on one of our guest streaming days, you're more than welcome to. We don't have to just do video games on those days. If people want to stream art to the Fungus channel, we can do that.
If you want to come here...
do like a chatting stream.
Yeah, if you want to come here and solve a Rubik's Cube on camera, fucking go for it.
God damn it, Sid. Sid, you spilled all the tea.
Look at Sin coming here and spilling the tea. On my side of the... unless you have something else to say.
I was going to say that I have actually had certain people reach out to me that they might be considering doing like claiming a guest streamer spot. I don't want to say who it is at this point. I don't want to put them on blast publicly, but we do have people that have said, yeah, this is something I might be interested in, but I still have to think about it. So we do have people that might want to do some things. We don't have anyone lined up for next month yet. Love you, Gil. Hope you have a good day at work. But yeah, if you want to stream something to this channel on our guest streaming spot, let us know. We'll do it. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. We'll figure things out.
Yeah. The theme of the friend fungus is we'll figure it out. So if you have any idea, literally any idea that's within terms of service, we can
please keep it within terms of service.
Yeah, if not, I guess you could do a Discord stream. Anyways,
I mean, if Sin wants to do something that's along the lines of the Mayo shoot but live on camera, we can do that as a Discord exclusive thing on the Fungus. It can be invite only.
Yeah,
we have ways of doing this.
On my side of answering Gil's question, what if we grow 1,000 times overnight? I would try to find the quickest way to let this new 1,000 people, 10,000 people, what is our mission and our vision, if you know anything about business. So what we are and what we want to do. And if that is established, then I would be a lot more comfortable with that kind of growth. Now, I have experienced similar growth with the SSS channel. We gained a shit ton of subscribers after they played with the Game of Life with Nathan and Karina. That video has just so many views, more than we have subscribers. The house flipper video has like 100,000 views. We only have 40,000 subscribers. The YouTube channel has grown more than the Twitch channel at this point. So I have experienced this growth, and it's just a matter of making sure that everyone's on the same page, and from there on it's just doing the same thing that you've been doing, and because it grew for a reason, unless you're Lauren and you get 100 bots to follow you. But if there was that kind of growth, is because there was something that happened that made people interested in what you're doing, and you should continue to do what you're doing and doing it in the most friendly way possible, such that people continue to come back. Because otherwise you lose traction, and when you lose traction you lose inspiration, and when you lose inspiration you become inconsistent, and inconsistency drops everything that you're doing.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that also Khaz has pushed having a moderately defined schedule too, as the consistency will bring viewers back.
And it doesn't have to be like a weekly thing, a bi-weekly thing. It doesn't have to be all the time. It just have to be the same time every time. So people, because the people who would stick, and this is me talking about streaming and content creation, the people who will stick to your content will be the people who already have a schedule that lines up with yours. So if you have a consistent schedule, you're going to line up into the routine, and if you line up into the routine, then everything just flows easily. But if you're trying to, like, if you have sporadic streams, if you don't have something that lines up with the same people, you're still gonna see growth. You're gonna see different people every time, but it's gonna be even harder because now your audience is split across multiple time zones.
Yeah, and the whole having to deal with quarantining and everything has thrown a wrench into the fact that there are a lot of people that don't need schedules still, that are still at home, so they have more free time. But at some point, they're not going to go back to normal, but they're going to go to some semblance of maybe normal. And people are going to have to work around schedules and things, which we've seen in our community with seeing people like Maddox and Lauren getting new jobs and starting them, and Lauren and Nelly having to adjust their streaming to be when Lauren isn't working.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, but you know what? We've got this great community that supports everyone.
Yeah. So, like, don't be afraid. Like, if you have to set yourself a schedule, make sure it's at a time when it's most comfortable to you, and then your audience will follow. Because if you're always doing everything for your audience, then you're gonna feel disconnected from the thing that you love doing. Like, if you're gonna be playing video games for your audience, then you're not playing video games for yourself, and you're not gonna be having fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, then you're just not gonna do it. Because ultimately, it's about having fun.
That's what I like about us having the redeem tickets to stream things. Like, yeah, we're streaming those games for our audience, but they're games that we cherry picked. That'd be like, yeah, I'd be willing to do this. This will be fun.
So
even the Dark Souls, which everyone knows that I hated playing. I know that you guys will get entertained by watching me get frustrated at it.
So, I guess
I think.
Yes.
Oh, you go ahead, because my thing is going to lead to something else.
Okay. In terms of that, make sure that you're doing it for yourself first, and then the rest. Which is not something that I do very often, but. But I've been getting better at it. I've been trying to have that mentality with my stream. Like, I pushed my streams an hour later because the schedule that I had, even though it worked for the whole thing that we have going on, it wasn't good for me. So I had to push it back. And I'm actually thinking about pushing my Sunday stream an hour later. Because it's convenient for me, since it's not as early in the day, and it so happens to be that Lauren and Ellie have like that time slot for them, so it kind of works out. I can do things later in the day, and people can still be with them. So I'll probably stream an hour later tomorrow, but that's besides the point.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to tell you.
Okay, good. But going back to Gil's question of growth, one thing that I will say that will be a podcast exclusive, we do have a domain.
Yes.
We do have a domain for the Fungus. There are things that are being worked on to actually develop a web page. As of right now, all it does is take you to our Discord server.
Yeah.
But if you'll notice on both Khaz's and my about sections on our pages, we do have a thing that says business inquiries. Please send business inquiries to either Khaz at fungus.com or lep at fungus.com. That's been in existence for a long time, and we didn't want to say anything yet because we didn't want to have nothing there to tell anyone about, but that is a thing, and that was something that I need to add to the Fungus channel, is that a Fungus email for things.
Yeah. So if you
On
go
the
to
about section.
frungus.com, it will redirect you to the invite link for the Discord. And if you go to store.frungus.com, it will take you to the Teespring site.
Yeah. So we are working on things. We just aren't talking about it because we don't want to. We don't want to get people overly hyped for things and it not work out, or it take too long, like figuring out how to build a web page from scratch.
Yep. I still need to talk to Kayla.
It's not even the whole figuring out how to build a web page from scratch. It's figuring out how to build a web page from scratch that's going to look the way we want it to look.
Yeah, I have schematics.
Because building a web page isn't that difficult, but getting it to look the way you actually want it to look and have the things that you ultimately want it to have is a chore, especially. But yeah, we'll our plan for that at the moment is to have it be essentially like what the Twitch Teams pages are, where you have like profiles of the people that are members of your team. So we would have like profiles up there that are the different streamers that we have in the community, and probably widgets that would show like recent social media posts, specifically like Instagram thing for the different artists in the community. Eventually we are going to work on the webcomic that we've talked about, that is the adventures of Lep and Khaz, which has been on the back burner for a while.
I have the schematics, which I haven't shared with Lep just yet. So this is new for everyone. So let me fix this real quick.
We've talked about the schematics, but I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I've mentioned them to you, but I haven't shown you. I've told you the full thing basically.
Yeah.
But this is the idea. Oh, it's not working now. The fuck? Hello?
Hello?
Kriya? Oh, fuck it.
Okay.
Oh, it's so broken now. What the fuck? I'm just gonna show my screen. Screen capture. Display capture.
Cube time ... If only you know why that would be funny to me and every other Critical Role fan.
Alright, there we go. So it will be pretty simple. There will be a banner of sorts, or home site with a simple description about us. So like we like dicks or some shit. Then a link to our store, either inside store or just to our Teespring. I will have to figure that one out. I thought about having an e-commerce site purchased, but that would be an investment that wouldn't, like, we would be on the negatives for that for a long time, so I can't really justify it. And then it would be a streamers kind of banner, and everyone who we can fit here, there's a lot of us, probably the same people who are in the bot, more or less, and it would have an embedded, like their embedded Twitch feed, so if they are live it would show here their bio, their profile picture, Twitch chat, or their Twitter thing. Haven't decided that one yet. It's a very simple website, but there's nothing like it anywhere. So I can't just find a a pre-made solution. Like I have to build it from scratch.
Yeah, you've come up with a thing that you literally have to come up with scratch, and this is unfortunately not something either one of us has any real background in, so it's taking time.
Yeah, but there are ideas. Trust us. There's always ideas.
And there's ideas, and we have resources like Kiana, who has experience building one pages.
Yeah, I just haven't talked to Kiana because they've been busy, so I don't wanna. Because they'll obviously be excited for it. Just a matter of, do they have the time for it? Yeah.
So you heard it here first, kids. We got a website.
We do got a website. I also have a website, by the way. Castera.com goes to my Twitch page. Store.castera.com goes to my store. Just to keep the URL. I don't have any big plans for it. There's banging going on outside of my
I
house.
hear it. I hear it.
Give me a second while I close the door.
Okay. Look at 18, being a wonderful mod. Audible banging. Speaking of audible.
Sin, I am going to get that. I'm going to get the podcast on Audible, and then you'll be able to do the full bit. I can't fully promise to you, but I'll do my darnest to get it on Audible.
It started as a joke, but I think it might actually become a thing, which is what tracks for the fungus. Everything starts as a joke and then becomes an actual thing.
So if I get the podcast on Audible, you'll be the first to know. Well, Lab will be the first, and you will be the first after Lab. Lab is like ground zero. Yeah. That's Lab/Leo. On both work. I'm Khaz. /Khaz. Both work.
Khaz/Burb.
Khaz/Burb. I'm not Cash. I'm Khaz.
Khaz/Burb.
I don't know
if you were Cash, you would be betrothed to a very angry god, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Khaz's pronouns are raven/pigeon.
Yeah, please respect. Please respect. In me. Unless there's any more questions, I think we're winding down.
I think we are. We are also over 2 hours.
Yeah, we were aiming for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Podcast.
We're at a reasonable length. I like this.
Yeah. Podcasts are usually going to be a little shorter because we don't want to talk for 4 hours. That would be a problem. You can now be especially weird and flirty. Sin. Were you not? Because if you weren't, I want to see it.
Ooh.
But yeah, thank you guys for being here. This was fun.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, I'll find you out.
Oh,
Go over to your mayo puddle. I like to Pepsi over, but sure.
Chash.
Chash, why are you being cute?
Chash.
Oh yeah, we
are gonna raid into Rachel.
Where's me the pizza?
Yeah, this was a good podcast. I'm happy with this format.
Yeah.
We don't have a plan for the next one yet, but we have a month to figure that out. We don't have a raid message yet. I haven't written one.
If you guys have any ideas for the next podcast, if you want to participate on it, or if you have a topic that you would like to see discussed, maybe we have people that would be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Whatever ideas that you have, even if it's one person talking about, like if you want to come here and give a PowerPoint presentation on some weird topic like the chipmunks, I don't know who would do that.
You would.
Cam did.
Yeah, Cam did, but you also would just because of that.
Oh,
I love that. I love that. Sin, look at you being fucking brilliant.
Sin, that's what you are, a mod. But if you have like, if you just want to talk about your opinions on mechanical keyboards, let us know. We'll figure it out. There's a month from now for you guys to think about it. And
I need to screen cap that so I can write that into as a command later.
You're gonna come on and rant about vaccines for an hour? Do so.
Yeah, we can do that. Hello, Slam.
Hi, Slam. We're on our way out, but
yeah,
it was nice to see you.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got the next podcast is the fourth Saturday in April.
Oh, you have been lurking. You have been a sneaky boy.
Next week, is going to be our Frungiversary stream. Which we have had suggestions for doing special things in Minecraft since the first week is our Minecraft streams. I'm down for that.
Yeah. There's been ideas.
Yeah. But yeah, so next week our 1 year anniversary stream of being a community. Fucking check us out.
Who would have thunk it?
It's been a whole year.
Tonight, lab stream, as per usual.
Hell yeah.
Tomorrow, lab stream, and I guess I'm there as well. Oh no. My Discord died, but the stream is still up? The stream is still up. Do let me know. Well, that was weird.
That was weird.
Discord died, like, fully, but the stream was fine?
Stream's fine. I can hear you.
Okay. That was really weird.
Your camera is gone from our call.
Oh, the other camera. Yeah. You don't need to see me. We started on a frozen lap.
Don't say that.
And we ended on a frozen lap. Please.
Am I frozen?
No, you're fine. You're fine now.
Okay.
Find your frozen lap on your nearest frozen products at Walmart.
I am not that widely accessible.
Definitely not. We're gonna raid Rachel. She's doing a 24-hour stream for whatever reason. I don't know why she decided to do that, but we're gonna go over and show her some love. It is. I'm sure it's delicious, addictive even. Love you all.
No
Thanks for being here. Check us out places.
We'll be around. We're everywhere.
Yeah. Any last parting words?
Remember to eat your food, drink your water, and take your meds if you need them. And give yourself a squeeze. Just a nice wholesome squeeze hug from me to you.
I said it before and I'll say it again. I'll squeeze myself for you.
But yours isn't gonna be wholesome.
Ah. Bye.
Yes, then it does. It does.
Yeah, just a good boob squeeze. Anyways, we're leaving. Love y'all.
Mm-hmm.